I'm Miss Kathy from Kids in the Word. I thought I was going to be late. I've been so busy today, I didn't even get to eat lunch. But I brought a snack. You don't mind if I eat it while we talk to you? You know, I don't really even mind sharing with you. I've got 2 peanut butter crackers and an orange. Oh. We might have a problem. I don't think if I tried to share this with all of you, any of us would get anything. Oh well, my snack will have to wait. But it does remind me of a story from the Bible. A while back we talked about the miracles of Jesus, and one of them was his feeding the 5,000. All the people were sitting on the hill, and Jesus had been preaching to them all day long. Everyone was hungry and tired, and Jesus said that they needed to feed the people. The disciples said, "Oh, you want us to run to town and buy food for everybody?" One of them said, "It would take a whole year's salary for me to be able to do that." And Jesus said, "No, there's a little boy here." So they went looking for the little boy, and they found him. And he came back, and he had 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. And Jesus held the food up to God and thanked him, and they started feeding the multitude. They fed 5,000 men, but there were women and children there too. I looked it up last night, and it said Bellbrook has over 7,000 people. I also read that if you counted the women and the children, it could be over 10,000 people that they fed with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish, and the loaves were little. They weren't the big ones you buy at Kroger or at the store. And so Jesus could have just said, "Make food for all of the people here." Instead, he said, "Find a little child," because God uses little children too. Do you think you're too young to be used and that God doesn't need you? Well, let me tell you about some children from the Bible that God used, but there's a lot more than these. There was Josiah. He became king when he was 8 years old, and his father hadn't been a very good king, but he cleared his kingdom of all the idols and brought people to Jesus. Then, do you remember Samuel? He was laying in bed at night, and he would hear, "Samuel," and he would go to Eli, and Eli said, "I didn't call you, go to bed." Samuel would go back to bed. He'd hear, "Samuel." He'd go to Eli, and Eli said, "I didn't call you." And after the 3rd time, Eli said, "Samuel, it's God calling you. Say, 'Here I am.'" So God called Samuel when he was a young child. And we all know about David with his slingshot and his stone, killing that big Philistine that everybody else was afraid of. So God used a lot of children in the Bible. And that's one of the most exciting things about feeding the 5,000. But well, you know what the neat thing is? He can use you too. Have you ever seen someone in trouble and you were kind and helped them? God was using you. Has the pastor ever said, "Would anyone help us sing this song?" and you volunteered? God was using you. Has the pastor ever said, "We have readings in the service. Would any of you volunteer?" and you as a child volunteer? God's using you. So God can use you no matter how old you are, boy, girl, whatever. But you have to be willing to let God use you. So I want you to go to the mirror, look in the mirror and say, "God, I'm willing. Please use me." And you make it a great day.